Shalom Yashra Allah. First and foremost, I'd like to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to you, hopefully like the Akim, that are out there laboring, that are pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. While you believers, you listeners, as well as the Akwat, the speckled bird out there, and the others, confusion of faith Israelites that believe and have the faith in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. This is your brother Amar from the GMS Boise, Idaho camp, coming at you with just a update on certain events that have been going on in the so-called Middle East between Israel and Iran. And in these last couple days, it's April the 10th today, Salakia, the 11th, April 11th today. And this attack happened April 5th. And this news article was released on April 8th. Just so you can have a time frame, this is all in less than a week. So Iran had a consulate, which is sort of like a lower level embassy in Syria, in Damascus, where they had certain military top brass officers, certain high-ranking military officials there, political figures, whatever that work and for Iran, but they're in Syria. So what happened was Israel bombed that location and killed a high number. I can't remember exactly how many, but there were top brass, a couple of them that died, and that was a direct unprovoked attack, and this reminded me of the scriptures, of putting hooks in their jaws. Because for the most part, these other nations, Russia, Iran, China, North Korea, they're only on the defense of NATO's ever expanding, reach, and America and Babylon the Great's, wicked agendas, that they push on all these other countries that don't want to go with their agenda, and they demonize them. Really, Russia, like Putin has said before, we don't want war because nuclear war means there will be no Russia, because they understand that it's pretty much the end of the world as they believe, so they don't want that. But the point is that Yahweh Shai, and I'll get the scriptures here in a moment, that he's going to be putting the hooks in their jaws to bring them back, man, to bring these nations into war, because there's going to be something that happens, a provoked attack that is uncalled for, and it all goes back to Esau in the West, really. Because they're the ones that are always the provocateurs. Even if these other countries attack them, they always paint the picture like they're the victimless, blameless, only person that has been wronged in the situation by them getting attacked. Because they look at it as if they're in your country, they're the only ones that can have a say on what you can do. But, now these other countries are stronger and have the weapons just as capable as the hammer of the earth, which is Esau Edom. So I'll run through this article, but this is the picture that goes with it. How will Iran respond to Israel's attack on its Damascus consulate? And they have been talking like they're going to be doing something. So Lord willing, we see some sort of, something, because the way they're saying it is they can't look weak in front of their people that they help, because Iran is a major hub of the different proxy paramilitary groups that they go and fund to attack, the Likohats. So if they can't really defend themselves and their own generals getting attacked, it's a bad look, so they have to do something. And Lord willing, it's something that's not just a couple missiles fired here and there, man. We want to see some, we want to see an escalation. Lord willing, it does, So again, the article underneath this is Iran has vowed. They have vowed, and not too long ago, Salakia, but remember that Iran raised the black flag for the first time in history above one of their holy sites. I don't know if it was one of their temples or whatever, but it was a very, or a government building, but it was a very important location, and they raised that flag for a reason, showing that they're in the spirit of war. We had the eclipse and everyone was looking up thinking it's a beautiful celestial event, not knowing that that is a sign of the end of Esau's empire. He's on his way out. This is the article. Iran has vowed retaliation for an Israeli attack on its consulate in Damascus last Monday. The strike was part of a pattern of escalated Israeli attacks in Syria. I don't know why I feel about Lord willing it doesn't get flagged. And this is these articles are all from the website Al Jazeera. It's a so-called Middle Eastern website, but they do put information out there that you won't see from Western media. So if brothers want access to that information, it's called Al Jazeera, and it's just another news outlet. Again, since the eruption of the Gaza war last October, these attacks have often targeted warehouses, trucks, and airports, and Israel's declared aim for them is degrading Iran's transnational supply network for the Lebanese group Hezbollah, because they understand Hezbollah is one of those groups that they arm and fund and do things, and Hezbollah attacks these Israelis directly. So this is Israelis doing an attack, an unprovoked attack, so-called, because they weren't getting hit in the moment to take one of their people out, which, it's all war. But then there's another situation of the Israeli airstrikes. I'll just read it. And this is another escalation of how Israel is getting over there. The Israelis are hitting Iran in, the spots that, are getting them in that spirit of vengeance, and no peace treaty is gonna change their mind of wanting that vengeance, especially when it's like this story that I'm gonna read you. This is an Israeli airstrike has killed 3 sons and 3 grandsons of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in the Gaza Strip. Again, Hamas being another one of those people that are a proxy group of Iran that's indirectly but directly attacking, Israelis and the West. This is Haniyeh. I thank God for this honor that they bestowed upon us with the martyrdom of my 3 sons and grandsons, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah, judgment is going out. So, and this is just another thing that is going to show their never wanting to surrender. And that is what these hooks are that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to put to bring them into this conflict, to bring them into the World War III. Because World War III is going to happen whether these nations want it or not. Whether they want peace, they want another 40 years of just talking shit and getting a stockpile of weapons. No, they something's going to happen. These nuclear missiles aren't just there to look at, to flex with. These are going to be used. And these nations are going to be pulled, like I said, into these conflicts. This is Ezekiel 38:4, and I will turn thee back. Who's that I? The Lord Yahweh, Bahashim Yahushai, that's controlling these prophecies. Yahweh ultimately, and Yahweh Shai being the main piece. And I will turn thee back and put hooks in thy jaws. Just like a fish or whatever, or you put a hook in a certain animal, like a bridle to steer them one way or the other. And I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. So these are killing instruments, helicopters, tanks, attack amphibious vehicles, troop carriers, airplanes, bombers, jets, all the above that these nations have in their arsenal to bring to World War III, that America has been boasting, that acting like they're the only ones that have these things, man. They're going to get their ass whooped, not to mention the effeminization of the culture here in the Western world, opposed to the other traditional nations that still have their values, and still use mother, father, and have, the nuclear family as the main focal point. That is the complete opposite here. That's why this place has been weakened, for these nations to come and take over them. Verse 5, Ezekiel 38:5, Persia, the first one named, aka these Iranians, these modern day Iranians, Ethiopia, Ham, and Libya, and more Hamites, with them, all of them with shield and helmet, again, ready for war, ready to fuck shit up, because all that Middle Eastern area, even if there's Somali pirates in the Red Sea or the Saudi Arabia switches up on Esau and, starts attacking, they're all going to be there ready to go. Verse 6, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarma of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Again, there's going to be different nations from all over the world saying, hey, it's time to get at, Babylon. Oh man, I've been waiting my whole life for this. They killed my grandfather. They took my hand. They destroyed our land. They cut down our forest. Let's go. So where do I sign? Verse 7, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company. Again, another word for armies that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. Again, that guard, that main guard unto them is going to be Russia, that Gog and Magog. I didn't read it, but it's in this first scripture right here. Because Gog and Magog is going to be, again, Gog and Magog is the same thing. It's modern day Medes, modern day Russia. The Russians, because they have the strongest military capabilities in this modern time that is opposed to Babylon. Moab got a lot, China got a lot, but not as much as Russia, nor the fighting spirit to go along with it. So that's why these nations are getting, pulled into this conflict, and Russia is going to be the number one supporter. That's that guard unto them. Like you have a guard dog? Nah, these nations got a guard bear, because Russia's that bear that's going to tear this shit up, man, and run through. Not to say that they're not going to get punished any less, because they're Edomites, man. These Edomites are just playing their role in prophecy. There's no good guys or bad guys. We're not on either side of this conflict in World War III. We're on the side of Yahweh Shai. We're with the Lord, man. Let this prophecy take place. This is prophecy, but we're with Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. We're not on a side. And we're not going to go fight in these wars. If Esau sends us a letter or comes to our door and say, you got to come to the draft. No way. The brothers that have been in the military before, they could be target number one, because that's selective service. And also these college students, the selective service being you have a contract after you've been out of the military for certain years. There was a video that I did in a lesson. There was a Marine that was out of the service for 11 years that got recalled. Involuntary recall, they call it. And then not to mention these, my generation, the millennials, that paid so much money to go to college, but they didn't have money. So they had to go to the government and get government assistance to pay for their college, to do FAFSA. So one of the first things is selective civil service, which means you have to go if there is a draft. So these people have no idea what's coming. But that's why we're on the watch, to explain these things and why they're happening, and that these things are real. These things are real-time events. That's less than a week ago. This is not happening in a couple years and a couple, or 5, 10, 15, 20 years. No, man, this is happening very soon. Very soon. So I like to give all praises, honor, and infinite glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone. Peace and salutations to all you hopeful like Dakim, that are laboring and pushing this word in truth and in sincerity. This is your brother Amar, again from GMS Boise, Idaho camp, saying Shalom. Till next time,